she's hacked into your phone for sure. I know that.
My phone or email?
All of it.
For far too long, this 12-year-old girl had kept her father's secret, but she was done. Her disclosure will surely leave nothing behind. Unexpected developments in this case would leave everyone in disbelief as the unthinkable turned into the unquestionable reality. Zachariah Anderson, 40, was arrested under suspicious circumstances on May 21, 2020. However, both sides hid their versions of what had truly happened, making it impossible for the detectives to find the truth. To understand the contradictions following a 12-year relationship and starting a family with 3 cherished children in Mequon, Wisconsin, let's examine his behavior in greater detail, as well as the contradictory comments made by his ex-girlfriend and daughter, who were the people closest to him. In 2019, Zachariah and Sadie made the decision to split up.
December was when Zach and I had that blowout, and we hadn't talked at all. Like, I kept my distance from him. I tried to file a restraining order. Washington County wouldn't order it. I had 7 pages worth of history of why I needed this restraining order. I was afraid, and they let it go. He kind of gloated in that, and then he came and talked to me and said, "Hey, I gotta go take care of some stuff out west, and I'm gonna be leaving." And I said, "Fine," I said, "but I just want you to know, like, I'm done, with the relationship. Like, I don't."
So that was the official split in the relationship?
Yeah, like, I basically said, like, I don't want to do this. I don't want.
That's when he ended it.
Yeah.
Sadie began seeing Rosalio Gutierrez Jr., 40, in February 2020 after meeting him on a dating website. Both were content and prepared to move forward in life together after a few months of dating.
Where did you meet Rosario?
Like, I met him on Facebook.
Okay.
And we started talking through, like, the Facebook dating site or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like February-ish.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was like right around Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm.
He like sent me a text, Happy Valentine's Day or whatever. And then we just started kind of talking from there. Went out on a couple of dates.
However, something unforeseen would occur before they could set out on a new journey, shattering their hopes and altering everything. Since she hadn't heard from Rosalio since May 17th, Sadie was worried and made the decision to go check on him on May 19th, 2020. What she witnessed when she got there was unbelievable.
So you saw Tom Bundy, you walked out and called us. Okay.
And then when you came, I just, told you
Sure.
exactly what I did and what I said, and I was scared to go in. And when I called, I said, "Should I go in and check to see if he's even in there?" When I called 911, and then she's like, "Well, you can if you want, but if you're scared," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm scared." Like, I don't know, I can't unsee that.
It was a scenario straight out of a nightmare. Sadie couldn't find Rosalio anywhere, so the flat was in disarray and the floor was covered in new bloodstains. She requested help right away by calling 911.
Option 911, what's the address for emergency?
Let's see, the address is, oh gosh, sorry, I should know this. It's 3715.
And what street?
What was that?
What's the rest of the address? 3715 what?
15th Street. I'm not familiar with this area very well.
Is it Wood Creek?
15th Avenue, is it 15th?
15th Street is Wood Creek. What apartment?
1B. So I was doing a wellness check on a good friend of mine that I was dating, and I found it weird because I haven't talked to him for like 24 hours. And I just went to his house, and his screen door is wide open.
Okay.
And I knocked on the door, and I saw something like scattered on the outside of the outside door. And then I just, I kept calling his name and knocking on the windows and knocking on the doors, and the screen door is like wide open. And I just pulled the
Okay, so were you able to see inside?
Yeah, I pulled the blinds back, and there's blood all over the floor in the living room. And
Did you see him at all anywhere?
I didn't go any further.
Rosalio had been injured, and his body had inexplicably vanished without a trace. The blood revealed a tale, but the complete truth was kept secret, making the puzzle even more difficult to solve.
Okay, and are you sure about 3715? I'm not showing that as one of the building numbers.
37. Oh my God. I'm sorry. 3709. I'm sorry.
3709 15th Street, Apartment 1B. What's the phone number that you're calling from? What's his name?
Rosalio Gutierrez.
Okay. Do you know how old he is?
40.
Okay. And you can't see him at all, though?
I didn't go any further, no.
Okay.
I'm afraid. I just saw blood on the floor, and that's not normal. Something's not right. He's got
That's
kids.
it. We're gonna get officers over there. There's nobody else there that you could see?
Nope, he hasn't been answering the phone. Both of his vehicles are here. And like I said, his phone's been going straight to voicemail since, I don't know, maybe 11 o'clock last night.
Do you know what his phone number is? And when did you say the last time was that you spoke with him?
8:30 on Sunday night.
8:30 p.m. on Sunday night?
He texted me, yeah, that was the last time we texted.
And he seemed fine? Everything seemed okay?
Everything seemed okay. He said he was going to go by a friend's house.
Okay.
And I said, well, call me when you're on your way home or whatever. And he said, okay. And that was the last I heard from him. But it was odd that he didn't text me in the morning because he usually texts me good morning.
Mm-hmm.
And then I texted him and I didn't hear anything. And then I texted him that afternoon and didn't hear anything. And then I called and it went straight to voicemail. And I thought that's weird. It seems just strange.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we do have an officer on the way, so he's going to be there shortly. If you find out anything else, give us a call back, okay?
Rosalio was probably dead when the cops came at his apartment and looked around because there was a lot of blood, which suggested that there had been a struggle. Investigators focused on Zachariah Anderson after speaking with Sadi, who told them she thought Zachariah was stalking her. Investigators discovered something very unexpected when they examined Zachariah's house and farm. Burn pits flickering with the remains of the suspect's clothing and a bleach bottle amidst the ashes. Following his previous whereabouts, they discovered that Zachariah had bought trash bags, latex gloves, and bleach on May 18, 2020, the day after Rosalia was last seen alive, according to CCTV footage. Wipes from a Walmart nearby. While the investigators were putting the pieces together, a startling discovery was made. Gutierrez's DNA was discovered inside Zachariah's van after its inside had been taken out and cleaned with bleach. Would Zachariah use his deceptive methods to try to sway the case in his favor, or would the suspect confess now that investigators had the crucial clues?
What I can tell you is, to my understanding, she, around Christmas time, so we have twin boys that were born on Christmas Eve, and it's supposed to be my day with the kids, my Christmas with the kids. And this previous one? Yeah. And I went over there and our daughter wasn't there. And I said, all right, we went and picked up a Christmas tree and we went to have set up the Christmas tree at her house because she has primary placement of the kids, And so put it all together and that kind of stuff. I came over in the morning. All the kids were supposed to be there. Daughter's not there. And I'm maybe about 11:30, asking her, are you going to go get, this is supposed to be my Christmas. The boys want to open the presents. It's, almost the afternoon holiday or whatever. And she gets all shitty with me, shut your mouth and stuff. And I'm like, what the, supposed to have the day with the kids. This is our Christmas, right? You get the kids tomorrow for Christmas Day itself, but, we on the day for or whatever. And she tries to hit me with the broom in the face, just spins around, tries to cloud me with the broom in the face, and turns into this big old exchange between her and I. She shoves me into the door 4 times, and I scream and runs outside, calls the cops. Cops show up, they arrest me. And I'm like, what are you arresting me for? She put her hands on me. I made fun of her or whatever, but talked shit, hollered back and forth, but I didn't do anything to her. So they hauled me away, all right. What agency was that? Germantown. Okay. So go see the DA, tell the DA, hey, this is what happened, whatever. It's not the first or second occurrence. Long story short, happens again. She does the same thing. Cops show up, and I tell the cops, I put my hands on her. They arrest me again and haul me away. And I'm just like, it's ridiculous, just because she said whatever she said. She said I'd push her at one point at the front door. I'm like, no, she turned around, ran into her own Christmas decorations, and tripped her damn self and spilled her shit. I didn't touch her. I didn't step forward. I didn't do shit. I just stood there and watched her make a mess of herself. And that's been kind of the thing. It's no matter what happens, no matter what goes on, she accuses me.
Detectives find it difficult to believe Zachariah's assertions that his ex-girlfriend's accusations are false. Sadie shares her account of what happened with them as well.
Our twin boy's birthday is Christmas Eve.
Mhm.
That day, he came over to the house and there was an argument. He was upset. Our daughter wasn't there the day before Christmas. He began throwing things out of my house. I had to call the cops to have them come and ask him to leave. So that was kind of a violent episode. That was not the first time.
And was this before you met Rosario or
This is before.
the Christmas before?
This was, so 2019.
Okay.
So Christmas 2019. So that's December. So I didn't meet Rosalia until February.
Okay.
But December was when Zach and I had that blowout, and we hadn't talked at all. Like, I kept my distance from him. I tried to file a restraining order. Washington County wouldn't order it. I had 7 pages worth of history of why I needed this restraining order. I was afraid, and they let it go. He kind of gloated in that, and then he came and talked to me and said, "Hey, I gotta go take care of some stuff out west, and I'm gonna be leaving." And I said, "Fine," I said, "but I just want you to know, like, I'm done, with the relationship. Like, I don't."
So that was the official split in the relationship?
Yeah, like, I basically said, like, I don't want to do this. I don't want.
That's when you ended it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before I went to Mexico, yeah.
Okay.
And I kind of was like, if this is where our worlds are at, like, I don't want to live like this. So I was kind of done. That's why I went for the restraining order.
Even though he vehemently denied stalking Sadie and hacking her phone, he keeps making up lies to trick everyone around him.
If you guys get my cell phone, I'll show you how ludicrous it is. She accused me of hacking her phone, her text messages, and her emails. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And she's like, things that people shouldn't, which just my lingering suspicion is that she's doing blow. I don't know for sure. I haven't been able to verify that, but just on her behavior and, I've known her for 12 years and it's a hardship. So huge difference. So anyway, she makes a bunch of accusations and she says, well, you know how to program or something, you know how to hack my phone. I said, I don't even know any programming languages. I just worked for the phone company for a decade. That doesn't mean I know how to hack people's phones. Like, you don't understand what I did there maybe, but it had nothing to do with that, like, it's just crazy. But she's like, well, people. I'm like, nobody I'm going to ask to jeopardize their job over this shit. Like, what are you talking about? So she's just got some acute paranoias over that I can't make sense of, and so I don't know. I don't know what to do with that. But as far as stalking is concerned, no, we both see other people. I specifically, when I was arrested tonight, had a girl over and I was spending time with a different girl. So I think maybe she is a little mixed up in, what she thinks or feels about me, and that's fine. But really, at the end of the day, whoever's getting her high is more important. So I don't think, I don't think it's like that at all. Most of the accusations came like in the last month, really. But she said that I was sitting out following her. I went to scoop the boys out of I was cleaning my van. I had my cell phone in my pocket and I was listening to music. And she pulled in with the kids. And I went to pull the boys out of the car seats or whatever and give them a hug. And the boys' sweatshirts were down in the middle of the seats or whatever. And I leaned in there and either I picked him up, my son, when I picked him up, he likes to turn the light on by shaking the phone, took it out of my pocket, or when I leaned forward, I dropped the phone in her car or something like that. But I picked up the sweatshirts and I took the sweatshirts and I couldn't find the phone. And my daughter will tell you, I searched for the phone for like 3 days. I had to call the carrier to figure out what happened to the phone. And she said, well, you were stalking me, you were tracking me, you put the phone in there on purpose. And I said, no, the fuck I didn't. No, the fuck I didn't. It fell out of my pocket. It felt like the shirt that I was wearing, the pocket's not that deep. It fell out before. It must have fallen out when I leaned in to get the kid's sweatshirt, or maybe, I don't know. I didn't see because I was trying to reach the sweatshirts in the first place. So no, the fuck I didn't. I called the carrier. Don't make the accusation. But inevitably the way she sees it is I'm stalking her. And I said, honestly, I know you're going out with other dudes. You bragged about, you didn't brag about one guy, you bragged about 4, go. What
The tales of Sadie and their daughter present a very different image from Zachariah's claim.
He was good. He wanted to see the kids, and it was a Friday, maybe. And I said, all right. I'm like, well, when are you coming to get the kids? And he's like, I don't know. I'm doing this, this, and this. I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, how about I drop the kids off by you? And he's like, okay. So I dropped off the kids. It was like 7:30 at night.
When was this? No?
This would have been about a week or so ago. Because every week I try, or like every week he wants to see the kids at least for a day or something like that. So I've been letting him just kind of play with this because he won't give me a schedule. And I was going to go take a pond lily because I'm moving. So I was going to take the pond lily over to my brother's house. So I packed it all up in the truck and whatever with the kids and went over there. I'm like, I'm going to drop off the pond lily. And in the Amazon account, he had 2 tracking devices sent to his home. I know there's so much. I'm sorry. I'm all over the place, but I'm just trying to tell you what I got here. Because then I started freaking out that he had put a tracking device on my car or maybe on Rosalio's car or something. So then when I found this too, I told Rosalio, I'm like, I found these 2 trackers. I'm like, I don't know. He's like, if he's tracking me, let him. You know, like he was very kind of passive about it. Like, you know, I don't know what to do about this dude, but Tuesday, April 21st was estimated delivery date. Tuesday, April 21st by 8 p.m. So he would have had it before the 24th of April, right? Her birthday.
I don't know. Really, when you didn't know about a relationship.
Oh no, he knew about it.
You thoroughly looked through your vehicle for this tracking device?
I looked, like, I had my mechanic friend come over and he looked like under the car and he went under the truck and went in the engine and we looked on the batteries.
It
And
looks pretty small, that's why.
you know, and he even said, he's like, they even come smaller. He's like, we got them on our trucks and, you know, he's like, they're hard to detect if you don't know.
Or you can stick them in the air filter and hide them.
There could be in my house. I don't know.
Right.
It's a GPS one, but I think it has like the ability to listen. So last night I texted him something about like, are you hacking my phone? Like, what is going on? I'm like, someone said you're in my phone calls. I'm like, you need to stop this. Please stop following me. Just please stop all of this. This is too much. And then we had a little bit of a conversation and, you know, he doesn't want to really talk about that. You always accuse me of stalking you and this. And I'm like, weird things are happening. This is what's going on, you know?
Do you know what Zach's account is on Amazon? Do you know his login and stuff?
No, it was just it was the app that was on the burner phone. And so I'm just like, I just had feeling like he's tracking me. There's way too many coincidences that he knows where I'm going or when I'm going or where, if I'm leaving or that I don't come home at night. And then, oh, well, I have people that drive by and tell me that you're not at home.
Have you checked your car?
I did. I had a mechanic friend look it over and check it over. I just didn't take it into like a place.
Right.
But the fact that I found this burner phone in my car, I'm like, well, if you had a tracking device on me.
Oh, so you
Why
just
would
found
you
the
throw the
random
burner
car was
phone in there?
under the seat or something?
Yeah, you put it under the
So you can just
car
track in the
seat.
burner phone?
He used the burner phone to track, yeah, the 3rd burner phone that he had, because I had already had the 2nd burner phone that he had given to my daughter.
Gotcha.
I know, it's confusing, it's a mess.
I don't know that. He's hacked into my school account. He's hacked into my school stuff. He's hacked into your phone for sure. I know that.
My phone or email?
All of it.
So,
How do you know he got in my phone?
this is your phone open.
I looked
Is it
like for
open?
spyware and stuff like that.
But remember, I told you to change all of your passwords.
And
It becomes challenging for the police to determine which of these twisted tales contains the majority of the truth. However, Zachariah's assertion uses unquestionable logic to cut through the ambiguity.
I mean, just, look, I'm not trying to call you gullible, but she says that she went to her brother's house and she found the cell phone, right? Now, I call the carrier and the carrier says the cell phone ends up down in Kenosha, but she says that she literally drove like 2 miles away to her brother's house and found the cell phone, yet left the cell phone on and took it to Kenosha. So you tell me, guys, what adds up?
That's not what she told us.
But I'm just telling you something doesn't add up in that story specifically, because if I call the carrier and the carrier says the cell phone goes down in Kenosha, right? Well, then if she says she found the cell phone at her brother's house, which is by my house, then why the fuck did you drive all the way to Kenosha before you shut it off?
How do you know that she found it before she went to Kenosha?
So she told me.
Okay.
Well, yeah, then that wouldn't make sense.
Right. So I mean, I hear, okay, you guys got a story, but I'm telling you, all her stories are.
It's up to the detective to figure out who is weaving a web of lies. But these contradictory statements from Sadie and Zach show that they may both be hiding a significant portion of the truth, or that one of them is a skilled manipulator and the other is a victim of their circumstances.
Stories or what's going on. I'm not hacking her cell phone. I'm not hacking her email. I'm not hacking her. I'm not stalking her. There's some things that I checked. I would love to catch her, getting high with her boyfriend just so I could say to the court, I deserve custody of my kids because this is how she spends 3 days a week. My kids shouldn't be taken to the bar.
Is that what you've been trying to do?
That's all I've been looking for, man, is just to validate that. Once I found out that she was fooling around with somebody else because of what we saw through the windows, when I did go to her place, which I did do, it would be nice to verify it. And the only reason that I even came up to that was talking to a counselor who said, it sounds to me like she's moved into hard. It sounds to me that the way that she's behaving, because I got a woman who's been a good mom and a caring mom for most of life so far, and then suddenly in the last 6 months, it's like a wicked shift to everything I say or do is somehow I'm the big bad guy, and then our daughter's in the middle of this like a pawn, and it's just a mess. The only thing that was new is her pretending like we were going to get back together when really not. The only thing that was really new was she's now slapping across the face and fighting with her, and hitting the kids. And that, I've got recordings on, like what the fuck is going on? And arguments with her, it just makes no, what happened originally was, Sadie was slapped in the face to discipline her when she was yelling at her.
When was this?
Like a
What is
month and
this?
a half ago. And recorded it on her school laptop. She came to me and she told me, and I said, hey, Mom, no, wouldn't. She's slapping you? She said, yeah, Dad, she slaps me and she yells at me. I said, no, that's not like her at all. Like it's really not her character. But you recorded it. I'll give you the recording. So she starts the recording. Mom screaming at her, going, okay. And she swings at her again and she hits the laptop itself. And that to me, I don't know how many weeks ago now. I'd have to look at the video, or whatever. And at that point, I told her, nobody's going to believe me. Nobody's going to believe me. Mom tells the cops a story, they arrest me. Mom tells the cops a story, they arrest me. Nobody's going to believe me if I say, hey, Mom's the violent one. She's the one losing her and she's the one hitting the kids. But it doesn't stop there. And she stands the boys up against the wall and hits them on their arms and legs. So it looks like they're fighting. And at night when it's cold out, she takes the blanket away because they're playing, using their blankets and playing and stuff like that. And then she calls me and she's got the boys in the background, owie, getting hit by Mom. And I'm like, what's going on? The boys misbehaved. They're 4. I stand them up against the wall, give them a few minutes to think about it, flick them in the head or something like that. But nothing, I'm not hitting them. I'm not taking their blankets away at night. If I put my kids to bed, I just lay down with them.
What does this whole thing have to do with putting a cell phone somewhere that night?
So what happens is I give one of my old phones so she can record what's going on. So I have some evidence. And then so yes, there are cell phones, but I didn't put a cell phone anywhere for that purpose. I gave it to my daughter to record when she's being abused or when the boys are being abused.
And saw a text message from Leo that said like, good morning, hon, or good morning, love.
So what did you tell him? Okay.
I don't. I really
But
don't.
she told Zach.
She told him something. She was upset, like, with me. There was one day, and now I can't remember what day it was, but she's like, Mom, you need to tell the truth. She's like, well, just show the text messages. Show me the text messages. Tell me that you're not. And like, she was confronting me, like, why are you lying? I'm like, honey, I don't need to show you.
Over video that I saw it,
What was it over a video?
where I saw you and Zalia together.
Okay.
Dad had brought me that night and left the boys at the house.
Are you serious? Holy shit, are you serious?
No.
Oh my god. You can't tell me stuff like that. Oh my god. Okay, so what do we...
I think this is important for my mom.
Baby girl, he can't go over there. He can't have you guys right now. I can't. This isn't right. None of this is okay.
He leaves us alone when we're there. And he comes and watches you when we're there. He leaves in the middle of the night.
Okay, how do I stop this? I've got to do something. I've done what I could to try to place my in custody, into place, and I don't know what to do now.
Well, we're gonna force it, okay? We're gonna take some action. I just need your blessing and you're on board.
I'm so scared.
I know you are. I know you are. You've been scared for about 3 months, right?
Because when she dropped off the kids, she was taking a flower for her brother's pond down there, and she hid her nice jacket in the back. And when we were looking for the sweatshirts in the car, I saw the nice jacket in the back. It said, and I said, that's probably because she's going on to Kenosha, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Going to see your boyfriend, right?
Are you upset with that?
I mean, it stings a little bit, but, you know, ultimately, I can't unpoison the relationship, you know, can't uncheat
Is
on
there
her.
any jealousy going on?
Yeah, a bit, you know, a bit.
Are you expressing that?
Yeah, at times, you know, I tell her because she's jealous too, you know. I said the jealousy for us doesn't allow us to be friends, doesn't allow us to have a calm conversation. You know, if even like yesterday when I was talking to her or whatever, she said, I sent you an email, right? I said, oh, okay, cool. You know, I'll check it when I get home. She's like, of course you're not home. I go, geez, you know.
So you dropped your cell phone.
Yeah, I dropped the cell phone. I didn't
And
place
you
it.
find her in Kenosha.
I just knew she went to Kenosha.
Okay. She confirms that. He confirms that. So you follow me, man? These sequence of events, she's saying that you're following her.
Yeah, she says a lot of.
These contradictions in the comments clearly show Zachariah's discontent and envy of his ex-girlfriend's new partner. The investigators attempt to address him from a different perspective in order to obtain more information, telling him that his daughter had testified against him. However, his unconcerned attitude and his accusation of lying about his daughter reveal a talented manipulator at work.
That I have reason to believe that the 4-year-old went with you that night.
I don't know. Why would you have reason to believe they weren't with me?
Because we spoke with.
Yeah. I mean, one good, but two of them, she said that they were there. That's goofy.
I don't know. She really doesn't have a reason to lie to us.
Says you. I mean, I don't know my daughter, and she doesn't have a reason to lie about a lot. I mean, she just did a whole.
Well, I'll tell you this. Most of the conversation that we had with her,
Sure.
she chose your side.
Right.
Most of it.
Okay.
Okay. And I think she was being honest with me, or she wouldn't have chose your side. She would have made you look like the bad dude the whole time, but she didn't. She didn't. She made you sound like a good dad.
Yeah.
And really had nothing negative to say for the most part.
Yeah.
Which led me to believe that she's telling me the truth. She doesn't have a reason to lie to me. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean. And I'll give you some examples. Okay. So, so she just got in trouble. It was a big sting. She just got in trouble for, you know, the other Monday I stopped over by Sadie's house a couple weeks ago now. And I'm talking to her, and Sadie comes storming out. Now, most of what she said, you could confirm. Most of what she said, you could verify. But for whatever reason, she tries to lie a little bit to make things look a certain way, and it's not true. So I hear you, and like a lot of it's very credible, and it's tough for me as a dad to try and figure out. But there are some things that it's just like, why wouldn't you just tell the truth about that? I'll give you another one. The last 2 times she's gone over to my dad's house, she keeps stealing my little sister's cell phone.
She got in trouble for that.
Yeah, they can track it. You know, like they look at where it goes. Why are you taking it? It doesn't matter. No, well, but I didn't. And she tells a lot of truth and then some lies when she wants to try and.
To prove his innocence, Zachariah has always made up lies, something the investigators are used to. But they were able to make the connection thanks to Sadie's admissions.
It's between probably like 180 and 200. He said he lost a lot of weight or whatever.
What does he do for a living?
So he's not a fairly big guy, but he likes to fight.
He does.
He's pretty proud of being good at it, and you know, has bragged about it in the past. Likes to talk about fighting. Likes to talk about things. It's too violent for me. It's just too much. Like, that's why we aren't together. It's just too much. And I was always afraid that, you know, he'd take it too far with me sometime. And that, you know, that was part of the reason why I said no more. Like, I don't want it to get to a point where, you know,
Think he's capable of doing this to somebody?
I just don't know you know, he's gonna be like, what are you talking about? He's very smart, I'm telling you. He uses my words and twists them around all the time. I mean, like, I'm like, I didn't even say that, you know, or
Sure.
just, I mean, it's very, very narcissistic.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
manipulating.
Mm-hmm.
What
Or,
do you,
yeah.
so if you call him and were like, what did you do? And then, what are you talking about? You're like, where's Rosalio type thing? What,
Yeah.
do you think he'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about? Or you think he'd be like,
I honestly don't know. I'm surprised that, like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I kind of wanted to. Like, I kind of wanted to be like, what the fuck's going on? What? Yeah, I mean, I don't know what he'll tell me. I don't know if he'll tell me anything. I don't know if he'll say, you know, what are you talking? I don't know. Yes, I'll do it.
A fresh and startling revelation emerged as the investigators were putting the pieces of the puzzle together.
He said, you know, my friend, you know, I can't find my friend, you know, my friend is missing. And, you know, she knows his name, obviously. The first thing she said is, call Dad. Where's Dad? You find Dad.
so that being said,
She knows.
do you talk to him? Like, if you call, would he answer?
Right now? Maybe?
So if you called him and said, what did you do? Like,
I know.
as of right now, everything's leading towards him being kind of stalker.
Somehow.
Yeah, I'm not saying he did it,
stalking me.
but if there was one lead that we had, it would probably be if he was tracking, you know, if he threw a phone in Rosalio's car or he did something, who knows, you know?
Right.
Would you be willing to do that?
Sure.
What do you think?
That was my first thought was Dad.
Yeah, that your dad may have done something to him?
Well,
I don't want to put
yeah.
words in your mouth. Is that, and that's why I'm trying, I don't want to
Yeah.
put something out there, so.
Well,
But you were with Dad on Sunday until like 5, until I picked you up.
yeah.
And that's when I,
Is anything said about it?
No, I didn't ask him about it because I didn't really think anything of it. So.
Did he ever mention, like, I'm gonna get him, or I'm gonna hurt him, I'm gonna, like, I
No.
don't like him hanging around with
yes.
you guys?
He said that he told me, he said that, you know, one day maybe I'll just go up to his house and just watch him for a day or something. Those were his words. Or he said that he might follow my mom up there.
His prepared script breaks down when investigators ask him what he did the night before.
Last night, man.
Slept. I don't know. What did we do last night?
I don't know.
We watched a movie. I remember. Oh, that what did we watch that this morning? Yeah, we watched that this morning. We watched it's got Johnny Depp in it, man. Old school gangster movie. He plays Dillinger, John Dillinger. That was this morning.
Who's we?
My girl and I.
Okay. All right. So that was this morning. So did you wake up with her?
So, yeah, but did I go over last night or did I come over in the morning is the question.
All right, now we're talking like 8 hours, 10 hours ago, man.
Yeah, and I'm tired as fuck, man, and you're asking me and I'm trying to not blur the days because sometimes, you know, I'll come over at like 2 in the morning or something or 4 in the morning or something. It just depends. But last night did I sleep over by her? Yeah, because I came back after I went and talked to Jay. So yeah, I slept there last night. The night before that, Sunday, I think I just called her and we sat on the phone. If I'm not mistaken. I think that was Sunday night. We sat on the phone.
I don't know. You remember everything in detail for the last 4 months, dude.
No, I don't.
2 nights ago, it's a mystery.
No, that's bullshit. I just told you I didn't know if I had my cell phone out for the light or not when I went and saw Sadie at her house, everything in detail. No, I don't remember everything. I remember some things. I remember the gist of things more than anything. I'm not a detailed guy. My little brother, on the other hand, he can recite song lyrics and tell you where bands are from and where they play and all that shit. I don't have that, you know.
He tells us from the last time he was in Kenosha.
Sure, yeah. I don't have an eidetic memory, man. I don't, and I'm tired as well. So I gotta organize things. I gotta write things down, you know, keep a little journal and shit. And I do write that. I'll write that out. You know, this is what happened today. This is the next bullshit
Where's that?
story. It's on my computer.
How many computers you got?
Couple. There's a couple of broken ones sitting there. Some laptops.
Which one do you use? Which one do you use?
Depends on what I'm doing, I suppose.
Which one do you use when you write your journal?
Why?
I'm sure there's a lot of stuff in there about,
Yeah, one of them. I mean, you want a copy of the journal?
oh, we're gonna see the journal. Just making it easier on us.
Oh, why are you gonna see the journal?
It's pertaining to this case.
Stalking?
Yeah. Your internet searches.
Okay.
Now you have a journal where you're documenting everything you do.
I don't know about everything I do, but I document some stuff in regards to the well-being of my kids and fighting for custody.
Perfect, man. That should help you. What computer is it?
Is it Apple, notebook, iPad?
Look, I don't know the laws on being a stalker or not being a stalker. I've taken a look, but I don't know what you'd be going for my journal and my computer. I'd be happy to show you. I'd be happy to send them to you or whatever, but we're gonna see them anyway. I don't know what's going on right now.
I want to know where you were Sunday night.
I just told you.
Well, you think you told me.
I think I told you. Okay.
No, there's a big difference.
I'm not sure what you're getting at. But what I can tell you is, I don't know what you guys are doing. I'm tired of either take me home or give me a lawyer. Because I'm not really, what you're doing is really odd. It's almost like a threat about the computer, and that's peculiar to me.
We're not threatening. The case is involving stalking. She's alleging that you've been tracking her, you're tracing her with electronic devices and things like that.
I don't think I crossed any line. Yeah, I get it, but I don't think I crossed any line.
Well, that's what he's saying, like, we're gonna get that information from those devices.
All right, we'll do my Google searches or whatever you guys gotta do, but something's, I don't know, like I said, if you're gonna threaten me about keeping a journal,
Dude,
whatever the fuck that was.
I ain't threatening. You're just telling me you kept a journal of everything you do, so that.
No, I didn't say everything I do.
You.
I didn't say everything I do.
Okay.
So I mean, like, you wanna twist words too, like Sadie, man, I don't know what the fuck it's gonna do. Us, we're trying to have a conversation about stuff, I'm trying to tell you how things go, but I don't know what you're doing over there, it's weird.
All he's saying is that we'll look through the journal. Okay.
No,
Yeah,
I'll be happy to
I don't know how many steps I take. I don't have to keep a journal or shit like that too, but I also know 2 nights ago.
The journal's
at my place.
literally called custody for my kids' well-being. I mean, what the fuck?
Okay, so that's what we're asking, but what computer or electronic device is it on?
Dude, get me a lawyer. Take me home. You pick. This is crazy. This is.
All right, we're done. We can't talk to you no more.
I didn't do shit. I don't know what you want from me. This is crazy. I don't think I crossed any fucking lines.
All right. So what's gonna happen is the officer's gonna take you over across the street. Jail, you'll have, well, what time is it? After midnight. Within 48 hours, you'll have a preliminary hearing for
what?
stalking. So I can't guarantee.
48 hours?
Tomorrow.
What the fuck,
Within
you guys?
48 hours, I said. It could be tomorrow at 1 o'clock, or else it'll be Tuesday at 1 o'clock. I don't know the exact time.
Are you
Tomorrow
kidding me?
morning, we will have a meeting with our district attorney office.
I didn't do shit to her. What are you talking
So that's
about?
what's happening tonight. So we can't talk about it anymore. You have requested an attorney, so that's what's gonna happen tonight. I just wanna make you aware of that.
This is bananas, you guys.
All right.
For stalking? Get the fuck out of here.
Yep, that's the charge. So,
Come on now. Really?
Yep.
48
give us
hours?
a minute, I'll get the officers to come in here, and then we'll get you out of here like you requested. All right?
Yeah. What the?
All right, Zach, come on this way.
Zachariah's well-written tales only land him in jail. He was charged with killing and concealing a corpse 7 months after he was taken into custody for stalking his ex-girlfriend in December 2020. On February 28, 2023, he entered a not guilty plea to all of the allegations. Circuit Judge Bruce Schroeder of Kenosha County presided over Zachariah's trial, and the defense attorney gave the opening remarks.
I extracted for DNA, and I did find DNA in both those stains.
And ultimately, were you able to compare that to a profile of a particular individual?
I compared it to several profiles. There was one matching profile for for the genes. I compared it to several individuals, but none of those were matches. They were all exclusions.
So as to the match, was that a individual identified to you as Zachariah Anderson?
Yes.
Zachariah was mentioned in multiple witnesses during the trial as a crucial player in Rosalio's case. The van trim near the back tailgate has a reddish-brown stain on it. The sample was gathered because Treffinger was concerned that adding luminol might dilute it and render it useless for DNA testing.
In general, what is luminol?
It gives you an indication if there is blood. Yes, it was a tiny speck, like a pinhead dot.
A reddish-brown stain on the van trim near the rear tailgate. Treffinger feared using luminol would dilute the sample, making it unusable for DNA testing, so it was collected.
Did you do DNA testing?
Yes.
What person was it a match for?
Rosalio Gutierrez.
Zachariah's cellmate, Mark Juan Washington, also testified against him.
Was there a time when you were observing the defendant when it appeared to you he was having a nightmare?
Yes.
And what do you remember about that incident?
I remember I was laying there the night before. I told him about it the next day, but I was laying there and I was reading my book and I heard him shout in his sleep before he woke himself up.
And what did he shout that you heard?
He said, "Die, die, die."
And you're quoting as best you remember?
Yes.
All right. And so did you ever have a discussion with the defendant about this nightmare that you heard him have, or these words he said?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and so if you know, about how long after that happened did you bring it up to him?
I brought it up to him the next day.
Okay, and what did you say to him about it?
I pretty much told him, I asked him about the situation about that he was locked up about, and I told him that he was talking in his sleep or yelling about some stuff in his sleep, and he was like, "What did I say?" And I pretty much told him what he said, and he's like, "Yeah, you serious?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you said it." So I asked him a question. I'm like, "Did you do it?" Like, what, you know what I'm saying? "I think you did it." And we went from there.
And so what did the defendant respond when you said, "I think you did it," based on the nightmare? What did he say?
I told him to look me in my eyes and tell me that you didn't do it. And he jumped down from the bed and he looked me in my eyes and he said, "I did it." He said, "That's the reason I have the nightmares. I'm unable to sleep at night because I think about it all the time."
Throughout the trial, Zachariah appeared unmoved and exhibited no signs of guilt. However, his daughter's surprise testimony startled Zachariah.
Were you asked by anyone to spy on anyone else? During that time period, were you asked by anyone to spy on anybody else?
Yes.
Who asked you to spy on someone?
My dad.
And who did your dad ask you to spy on?
My mom.
And did you follow through on that in some ways?
Correct.
And so what sort of ways did you spy on your mom because your dad had requested it? Give me examples of ways you spied on her.
I was given a G6 Moto for my phone to record every single time that my mother would get upset.
Who instructed you to do that?
My father.
Where did your dad and you go?
To my mom's house.
What do you remember happening next?
He jumps onto the porch and looks through my mom's window with a camera.
Let me stop you. When you said jumps onto the porch, of what location?
My mom's.
And when you said he, who did you mean jumped on the porch?
Zachariah Anderson.
Then what happened?
And then he is looking through the window recording with not a camera, like a phone recorder, but a handheld recorder, puts another phone into the air conditioner and asked me if I would like to see, and I said yeah.
Okay.
And I saw him sitting on the couch with my mother coming out of the bathroom.
And doing what together?
Just laying there on the couch.
Okay.
Zachariah was found guilty on all counts by the jury on March 22, 2023, including stalking Sadie, Rosalio intentional homicide, and concealing a corpse.
Wisconsin versus Zachariah Joseph Anderson. As to the first count of the information, we, the jury, find the defendant, Zachariah Anderson, guilty of stalking Sadie Beecham as charged. As to the second count of the information, we, the jury, find the defendant, Zachariah Anderson, guilty of stalking Rosalio Gutierrez as charged. As to the third count of the information, we, the jury, find the defendant, Zachariah Anderson, guilty of intentional homicide of the first degree as charged. As to the fourth count of the information, we, the jury, find the defendant, Zachariah Anderson, guilty of hiding a corpse as charged.
Zachariah Anderson was condemned to life in prison with the prospect of parole after 40 years, precisely 3 years after Rosalio vanished on May 16, 2023. He had to mention something prior to the sentencing.
I don't think we really got to the heart of the matter. What I can tell you is, I didn't kill anybody. What I can tell you is, I didn't stalk anybody. And what I can tell you is, I didn't dispose of any corpse. It's really weird to be sentenced for or convicted for it and soon to be sentenced for it, but I didn't, Judge. It kind of feels like there's no turning around on that now. I don't really know how to make a better statement of my opposition. But I disagree. I'm innocent. I don't know what you're going to decide. I don't know what you're all going to weigh. I don't even know how to represent my own character. I don't really know what this is, but I didn't do it. I'm innocent, Judge. Not guilty. I'm innocent. So.
Even though he maintained his innocence up until the very end and vehemently denied all of the accusations, Zachariah had no way of going back. Zachariah starts his life sentence in an unforgiving cell after all of his manipulations.